like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dennis Spurling podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dennis Spurling podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens, we obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil, they tryna eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters, peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa, Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Spurling podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Spurling podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else.
Dennis Spurling. This person has been negatively targeting, I would say targeting Black women negatively on social media. And it seems as though ever since Kevin Samuels died, he's been trying to, I don't know if he wants to be the next Kevin Samuels, if he wants to be the next person who's famous for disparaging Black women and for making someone try to feel a certain way, particularly Black women.
First they had Weight Watchers, now you got Hate Watchers. Let's get it. This is for my lovely young ladies like I hate. Blizzard King, Dennis Spurling. First let's get the record straight. I say it online, I can say it to your face. Not a bully, I'm just mean, know what I mean, no debate. It's time to put some motherfucking knowledge on your plate. Excuse me if I'm vulgar, but a king ain't sweet like cake. Holding court, living court, ladies, you just need a taste of what we've been through. Judge will set you up for grape. And I ain't talking no more, I will not put on a cake. I do not confuse shit, we all gotta face reality. You woofing on your men like you an ape. My job is protecting Black men up in the space, and also putting rude bitches back up in their place. Cross-examination, I look good to the race. Man, be a man, nigga, say it with your chest. The soft-spoken men these lovely ladies don't respect. I can care less, I do not do this for checks. I do this for my sons and the Black men I invest. It's time to get what I was, ladies, gotta pay your debt. You working with the same men who put it round our necks. You're not my sister, not my kind, you a threat. When the weather change, I hope you bitches will be dead. Let this be reminders to the ones who disrespect. We are God's chosen men. When you say Jesus, you mean us.
The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Shut the fuss, we discuss with your fuckery. Past 100 years, you ain't loving me. Who was on the front line fighting? Yeah, fuck is me. Building all them black towns? Yeah, fuck is me. Kicking riots off Michael Brown? Yeah, fuck is me. Now you wanna put us underground, not to fuck with me. Change your plans, baby, you can be replaced. Let freedom reign. No sunny white days, Martin Luther King. Single mama program chip for the simp queen. Mother goddess only gon' destroy us. It's the Blizzard King. Blizzard King. The Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. The Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King.
Say that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Big shout out to Mark, the freelancer, my man Barry Little. Good to see you in here, Barry Little. I ain't seen you in a minute, baby. Shout out to you. Melanated FTM. Shout out to all my members, man. Big up to everybody who came through. The Super Chat, the Cash App is wide open. Shout out to Gail at Night. Thank you so much. Mark, the freelancer, Barry Little. Y'all make sure y'all keep the chat kosher. So anyway, gosh, we are dealing with a lot. We're in the middle of the election season for president, and it's been some interesting news. I want to talk about this important discussion and or should I say that I think that's important that we need to have. And this one hits close to home in more ways than one. We're going to dive deep into a growing concern surrounding a Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Aragua, okay? Now, you might be wondering, why should we care? Why should we care about a gang from Venezuela? Well, let me tell you, this situation has the potential to impact communities of color, specifically Black communities, far beyond South America, okay? Including right here in the United States. Tren de Aragua started out in the, and I want to make sure I spell this word right, Tocoron prison down in Venezuela, where they originally formed. And this wasn't just any prison gang. These folks turned a prison into their own little kingdom. And this wasn't just, this is, and when I say kingdom, I mean they ruled with an iron fist. And we're talking about a place where they had a discotheque, in other words, a club in the prison, a swimming pool, restaurants, even a zoo. They bribed the guards and they lived quite well, okay? Running all kinds of illegal activities from inside the prison walls. But here's where it gets real serious. Tren de Aragua has grown beyond those prison walls, and they've evolved into a powerful transnational criminal organization. Okay, and some of the most dangerous activities that you can think about: human trafficking, extortion, contract unalivements, and so much more. And their reach spans across South America, Panama, Brazil, and there's even talk about them having reach and set up shop here in the United States. And that is what brings us to what's happening in Aurora, Colorado. Shout out to everybody who is checking in. And invariably, you guys have heard about the situation that's going on in Colorado. You might have heard the rumors floating around about a Venezuelan gang taking over an apartment building in Aurora, Colorado. We're not talking about somewhere in South America. We're not talking about the king. We're talking about right here in the United States. Somebody, you guys remember the Kings of New York? I'm sorry, not the King of New York. You guys remember that? And there was another movie with Wesley Snipes. Basically, you taking over an apartment complex in a major American city. So let me clarify something first, and that's just the rumors, okay? The city of Aurora has confirmed that they don't have any solid evidence that Tren de Aragua or any other gang, for that matter, has taken over their building. But what they have found out, or what they have found, is very horrific living conditions, okay? And I'm talking about rat infestations, trash piled up, missing windows, no electricity, heat, you name it. And so, it's pretty bad. And the city is planning to shut the place down if these issues aren't fixed, okay? But here's a connection, all right? The fact that the authorities are even considering, and I want you guys to hear me, the fact that the authorities are even considering that there's a connection, a possible gang connection to Tren de Aragua operating here in the interior of the United States, that should be a wake-up call. That's a wake-up call for all of us. And this isn't just a problem for Venezuela or South America anymore. The reach that this criminal organization is growing. And if we're not careful, their influence could spread into our communities. Somebody type our communities in the in the chat room. You guys thought MS-13 was bad. You thought, you thought the 18th Street was bad. Remember, a lot of these people who are traveling here from South America, they still have anti-Black, anti-African American, anti-Black traditions in their country. And whether they're a criminal or whether they commit no laws, I want you to remember that our country, our communities will suffer the most. So here's again, you know, what this means is, family, that we need to stay informed and we need to stay vigilant. The situation in Aurora is a perfect example of how these international issues can come knocking at your front door. And while the city's immediate focus is on fixing the terrible living conditions, quote unquote, at the apartment building, we can't ignore the broader implications. And we need to be aware of the potential of gangs like Tren de Aragua and how they extend their operations and how they're apparently extending their operations into places that we might not expect. So here's the thing. More specifically about the subject, the city of Aurora, Colorado is addressing the rumors about a Venezuelan gang allegedly taking over the apartment. And that building is at East Colfax Avenue and Nome Street, which is actually a Black, there's Black people in that building. I mean, let's just keep it 100. There's Black people who live there. And while the city acknowledges the possibility of gang activity, they're not specifically saying it is or it isn't. They're just saying there's a possibility, right? And they're investigating any potential connections, and that they're saying that the primary issues stem from severe, long-standing, poor living conditions. The fact that they're having to investigate means a lot. The fact that it's a Black community, a Black and brown community, but specifically a Black community, it says a lot. So basically what the landowner, and this is word from the streets, okay? The streets are telling me that these Venezuelan gang members are running the folks out of the homes. They are collecting the rent for the landowner, the building owner. And as the people are leaving, they're putting their own Venezuelan migrants or friends or comrades or people who are loyal to this particular gang there. So in essence, they're evicting African Americans, they're putting Black folks out and putting their own people in. And you have to be mindful of that, okay? See where these immigrants are landing. They're coming across the border and they're getting all the way to places like Aurora, Colorado, New York City, Chicago. And Aurora, Colorado is just the future for Chicago. They're going to do the same thing in Chicago. They're going to do the same thing in Detroit. They'll do the same thing in New York. And your government is not doing, they're going to say, oh, no, it's not. And so now what's happening is they're just trying to evict everyone. The city is saying, well, these are ordinances. We need to evict everyone. Keeping in mind, Colorado, and I'm assuming this particular area is democratically held. So of course they don't want that bad press, especially considering when there is a ongoing Democratic ongoing convention right there in Chicago. They don't need this sort of bad press. Okay. But we need to be able to read between the lines, and we need to be able to use our third eye and see what's happening. Okay. Now, the other thing is the crime rate at the property has been rising or significantly increased as far as various criminal activities. Specifically, I think it shot up 80% since 2023. Okay. Or since 2022. And now in 2023, it's up. In fact, the Aurora Police Department has labeled this a criminal nuisance property. and they've increased their patrols. And legal action is being pursued against the property manager, with a trial expected to begin soon. Nevertheless, as I said before, we need to understand what's going on. We need to stay vigilant. And more importantly, we need to know who we're dealing with. So we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this particular gang, just like we had to educate ourselves on some of these other gangs that are going to be hitting the Black community, and they're going to come in with, more likely than not, with their anti-Black racism. This is something we need to deal with, okay? So you guys take a little break. Make sure you hit the super chat. We're educating ourselves tonight. We're looking out for our children. This is a serious matter. We're looking out for our women. We're looking out for our elderly, okay? We're looking out for ourselves, all right? Because I'm going to tell you, based on what I know, America is not ready for these South American criminal cartels. You are not ready for that level of criminality. It is ruthless beyond ruthless. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Dennis Spurling podcast, click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch, cause we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We on playback. We on playback. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point. When it's time to check in, I need to check in it, to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. All right. Somebody say yeah in the chat room. Somebody say yeah. All right, man. So shout out to everybody. Look, man, we're learning something tonight. We're educating ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing that I can do for you. A lot of people are worried about these immigrants coming up here, taking our jobs. I'm worried about them taking your lives. Okay, I'm worried about them taking the lives of your loved ones. I'm worried about increase in criminal activity. That's what I'm concerned about. Okay? Now, I'm not here trying to fearmonger you, but I am suggesting to you that there is a reason why we have an influx of Venezuelan prison gang members coming to the southern border. It's because Venezuela literally opened up its prisons and allowed these people to leave, or basically said, either you go to America or you go back to prison. Don't come back here. Now, irrespective of your politics, there was one politician who shall remain nameless, who specifically said they are not sending us their best. They are sending us what? And I'm not going to say what he said, but basically they're sending us their grapest and their unalivest, okay? And turns out that was true. Now, people told us that that man was racist and he was a horrible person, but apparently he knew something he didn't, and now he's running to be your 47th president. Now, who was it that allowed these people to come in here? Huh? Shout out to all you people who are riding with Biden. So shout out to all you people who are with her, because it's going to be a continuation of the same. They're not going to change their policy. They don't care about you. Those people are rich and successful. Matter of fact, I am absolutely certain that the prison industrial complex and their lobbyists are all for open borders, because that means they get more bodies to put in their prisons. They have to feed that animal. That prison industrial complex is just like a big old beast that consumes the flesh of human beings. They want to put you in that prison industrial complex. They get paid for that. Why let a good crisis go to harm? If we can scare the American public, we can get more tax dollars towards prison. We can get more money towards law enforcement. Shout out to all the cops that are out here. You guys know once the American public is afraid, the police can make a comeback, can't they? Let's think about that. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do know how to follow the dollars. Somebody type follow the money in the chat room. Come on now. The prison industrial complex benefits by allowing these illegal criminals to come up to the United States because we once again get a chance to fill our prisons up like they did back in 2000. See, the prison rate, the crime rate in the United States is going down. So there are people who are going out of business right now and making less money because they don't have as many black men like they used to have in the 1990s and the 2000s. Our incarceration rate has gone down. So if they can, let's go ahead and get some prisoners. This is the biggest prisoner transfer program ever. We get 14 million folks coming up here, of which a large percentage may be people who are directly let directly out of prisons to walk to the United States. What is a criminal going to do other than crimes, especially these hardened ones? So let's learn a little bit about Tren de Aragua. It's a violent Venezuelan prison gang. I want you to understand that. Somebody type prison gang. Okay? And the mere fact that it is a prison gang tells you that they came directly from prison. These are not street gangs. These are prison gangs. Somebody's talking about Latin Kings. Latin Kings is not a prison gang. Latin Kings is a street gang, just like the Bloods, the Crips. Those are street gangs. 18th Street is a street gang. Black Guerrilla Family is a prison gang. You see the difference? MS-13 is a prison gang. And so now you have Tren de Aragua. It's a violent prison gang from Venezuela that has grown into one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the Americas. And just this past Thursday, the United States took a significant step by placing sanctions on Tren de Aragua. And I know I'm butchering the name, but it's Aragua. This gang, which is organized in a prison down in Tocoron prison in Venezuela. That's where it started. And it's been identified by law enforcement across the Americas as violent and exploitative. And let me break down what I mean. So this gang is known for some of the most heinous criminal activities you can imagine: human trafficking, extortion, kidnapping, money laundering, contract unaliving, and smuggling. And they've been linked to organized retail thefts stretching from Panama to Brazil. They're literally running up in stores, stealing stuff and running out. The same thing that they were doing in California. They had that California queen of shoplifting, and folks would go steal and then send it out to her. So organized. Okay? See, this gang is no longer a local problem. It's a regional threat, and it could be a global one. And now it's here in the United States. And some of these politicians and these immigration officials are raising concerns that Tren de Aragua might be trying to establish a foothold in the American soil. And obviously it is. We open up the borders and let them in. Now, we don't know if there's a large scale operation in the U.S. set up yet, but golly, there have been individual cases, and that should raise some red flags. And this is something we need to keep an eye on, especially those of us in the Black community. See, these people are not going to be living in Beverly Hills. They're not going to be living on Fifth Avenue. They're not going to be living in River Oaks. Okay? They're going to be living in Compton and the Bronx. They're going to be living in Aurora, Colorado. They're going to be living in Memphis, Tennessee. See what I mean? They're coming to a black neighborhood near you. And it looks to me like the United States government is taking this lightly. Look at the White House. They've designated a transnational criminal organization, but they still have the southern border open. They might be designating assets from the United States to try to control these people, but they still have the borders open. And let me tell you a little bit about the history of this gang. It's led by a man named Hector Niño Guerrero. And along with other leaders, he managed to escape the prison just before the police came to raid it last year. So you know he was tipped off. And these aren't your average criminals that we're dealing with. We're dealing with highly organized criminal activities, and it's managed to extend far beyond the Venezuelan borders. Tren de Aragua controls the migration routes used by the Venezuelans and other South American migrants who head south to places like Chile or even Europe. To some people, even the name strikes fear into their hearts, especially down there. This gang is responsible for sexual exploitation. I mean, just think about that, man. These people will happily unalive somebody for money. That's a gruesome crime. And they have no rules and regulations. They weren't socialized in the United States. They've already given countries like Chile, Peru, and Colombia hell. Okay? These people are mutilating bodies. This is an incident that happened in 2019 in Chile. They were mutilating, or not Chile, but Peru, mutilating bodies. The mutilated bodies just start appearing. And Colombia has a problem with it because there's 1.5 million Venezuelan exiles in Tren de Aragua, and they built a lucrative business in stolen cell phones and accessories. And they run the prostitution rings. So it's not just a gang, it's a multifaceted criminal enterprise. Now, we have 15 million immigrants here in the United States that have just come up over the past 3 or 4 years under Joe Biden's administration. So what sort of issues are we going to be dealing with? Now, when we come back, I've done some research, and I want to kind of share with you all how this organization operates. So y'all make sure, if you appreciate what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? We'll be right back. Y'all hit the #1 button. Show your love to the Blizzard King. Boom.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skin, huh?
All right, welcome back. Are y'all enjoying this broadcast? Are we learning something? We're not hitting you with we're giving you the facts over here. Shout out to my man, Devin Lockett. Man, Devin, I can't believe you don't have a wrench, man. We got to make sure we give Devin a wrench. Hold on, I'm going to stop the show right now. We got to give my man, Devin Lockett, a wrench. Devin been here for years, man. Let me give my man, Devin Lockett, a wrench, man. Hold on a minute. Hold on, Devin. Go on, put your name up real quick. Let me make sure I see Devin in here. Devin, where you at, baby? Where's my man, Devin? Comment so I can send you this. There's my man, Devin. Boom. Old school. Been here for a minute. All right. I got you in. So, Devin, welcome to the Wrench Mob. Yeah. All right. So, let's get back to business. We're talking about the Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua and its takeover or alleged takeover over Colorado apartment complex. Okay, so we want to understand, how does this gang operate, and then why are we concerned about it? We're concerned about it because we know, as Brother Malcolm X said, if the white man has a cold, the black man has pneumonia. So if white folks are concerned about these Venezuelan migrants and who are members of this this gang Tren de Aragua, if they're concerned about it, then we should be very concerned about it, because these folks are going to these gangs are going to end up in the ghettos. They're going to end up in black communities. And if you think the crime in Chicago is bad now, come on now. You see? My man Joe Curry said, blame Texas for allowing the border not to be built. Are you kidding me? Texas is the only reason why we stop some of that illegal immigrants, stop some of that illegal immigration. Texas is, when Texas started busing, people have a lot of selective memory. It was Texas that began busing and flying these illegal immigrants to places like Martha's Vineyard, New York, Chicago, to these sanctuary cities, places like Denver, Colorado. That's when it became a problem for the rest of the United States. All right. So before that, it was just a problem at the border states. It wasn't until that happened that everybody got serious. So, let's not go and revisit history. And, the thing you have to understand is, under Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, we didn't have this problem. We had other problems, but this is not the problem that we had. And in fact, I'll be more than happy to share some stats with you so you can see just what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I got one right now I'm going to pull up for you. This is a, let me see if I can make this a little bigger so you all can check it out. Okay. This is an immigration chart I want y'all to check out, just so we'll know. And then we'll get back to the conversation of how we can spot these people and how they and check their get down. But are y'all still with me? Hit the number 1 button if this is an interesting topic, because if nothing else, you should be concerned about your city. We can your safety. We can set aside the social critiques for a little later. Right now, we got an existential threat coming in with these folks. So can y'all see that? Is that clear? If you can see that clearly, hit the number 1 button. If you like what I'm doing, hit the number 1 button, fam. Okay. So this is a chart titled Biden World Record Illegal Immigrants, Many from Prisons and Mental Institutions. So not only are we dealing with folks from prison, we also dealing with crazy folks. Somebody type cray cray in the chat room. That's a term from a few years back. Somebody type cray cray in the chat room. We dealing with cray cray. They literally sent their crazy folks up here, man. Okay? So let's look at it. Illegal immigration to the U.S. in 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now, this is 2016. This is when Barack Obama, his last year, 2017, 2018, 2019. All right. So this is Donald Trump from 2017 to 2020. This is Barack Obama from 2012 all the way through to 2016. Now, the crazy thing you need to understand is Barack Obama deported a whole lot of criminals. He deported a whole lot of immigrants. I think he deported more illegal immigrants than any other president up until Trump showed up. All right. Now, what I want you to see is in 2017, it was pretty low and pretty manageable. Now, you had a spike in 2019, and then Trump clamped down on them, and it went all the way back down by 2020. And then look what happens in these body years. Look at this little, see this little icon running across my screen. Look at this. Look at this gradual increase. The minute Joe Biden got elected into office, right? Look at how they began to come. We talking thousands and millions of folks. Look at this. And look where we are now in 2024. What's going to happen if we get another 4 years of Biden Harris? I just want you, are there going to be 40 million illegal immigrants? So you should be very concerned. But apparently it's going to happen anyway. Okay. I'm going to vote my interest, but it may very well be that Kamala Harris gets elected as president of the United States. I'm just saying. And what's going to happen? That trend is going to continue. So let's anticipate what's going to happen. See, it all started for this particular gang. They extorted businesses in Venezuela. All right? That's what they did. But as more people began to flee the country because of the financial issues they were having, Tren de Aragua saw an opportunity. So they moved, they adapted, they adjusted, and they began to exploit the migrants, particularly women, who found themselves forced into 304 work. Okay? They were forced into 304 work when they couldn't pay the smuggler's fee to get them from one country to another. So basically, these folks are acting like mules. You see? And when they can't afford to pay the smuggler for the fee, either getting them over there or whatever, then they got to go do some prostitution work. Okay? This one operation that they had in Chile that's being discussed in the news, they had 60 women and they were able to generate $5.5 million in 6 to 8 months. This is a lot of money. It's dirty money, but it's big money. What do you think is going to stop them from doing that in the United States? You got all these Latin female immigrants and you got Tren de Aragua. What do you think is going to happen? Tren de Aragua took over a lot of the drug trafficking routes. And then they shifted their focus to human trafficking, something that they found less risky than dealing with drugs. So we have to understand we're dealing with an intelligent yet violent criminal organization, not a street gang, an organization. And so we have to begin to try to understand what is it that we can expect from this group. Now, based on their current criminal activities, the things experienced in Latin America, okay? And if we use the example of MS-13, which is both a Latin gang and a prison gang, we can expect several significant challenges. Tren de Aragua has already established itself as a highly organized and brutal criminal organization engaging in human trafficking, extortion, contract unalivements, and other sorts of smuggling across South America. Unlike these homegrown street gangs that we have here, which focus on local and regional activities, Tren de Aragua, similar to other Latin gangs, operate on a transnational scale, and it makes it much difficult for them to combat. Okay? All right? What you can expect is a heightened level of violence. Let's start with that. Heightened level of violence, a different kind of violence. You might be used to these drive-bys, but you're not used to what these people do with machetes. And I'm going to say less because I don't want to get this demonetized. Okay? You can expect organized theft. You can expect organized car theft, all sorts of theft. You can expect that. You can expect, you're not going to have that friendly pimp on the corner anymore. You're going to have mechanized pimping going on. The true essence of big pimping is what's going to be going on. That's what you can expect. All right? And how is that going to affect your community? I'm just asking. How is that going to affect your community? Huh? Just think about it. Think about what I'm saying. We don't have enough law enforcement as it is. What do you think this is going to be like? Think about it. And who's going to do anything? These folks don't even have papers. They don't have paper. They see this as a wide open country. And the thing about prison gangs, or should I say, the thing about a gang like this, once they fill up the prisons, what's going to happen? Who do you think is going to run the prisons around the United States? So what that means is even the criminals who would not otherwise be associated with this group are going to have to fall in line, because guess what? When they go to prison, they're going to have to see these people. So they're going to fall in line. That's how 18th Street and MS-13 and all those other folks got all the Mexican, or MS-13 got all the Mexicans to fall in line, all the Hispanics to fall in line. They had to, because when you commit a crime, you're going to do some time, and depending on the type of time you want to do and how you want to do your time, you better fall in line. So what you do in the free world affects how you get treated when you're locked up. So if an order is passed down to eliminate all the blacks, which is what MS-13 called for back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, that's why we had a lot of the black gangs got eliminated. When they hit the prison yard, they had to squad up. I want you to think about that. Keeping in mind, there's a strain of anti-black racism that runs through many of these Latin cultures. Okay? So not only are you dealing with a criminal element, but you also dealing with a criminal element that has anti-black racism embedded in their home culture. Think about what I'm saying. Are y'all learning something tonight? Are we learning something tonight? If you're learning something you didn't know, talk to me. Now, what is going to be the effect of this? You all are going to be afraid, aren't you? When you start hearing about people using machetes on people and body parts turning up in different places, guess what you all are going to do? You're going to call for what? Tell the truth. Tell the truth on yourselves. You're going to do the same thing you did in the 1980s and 1990s, and you're going to demand your government institute harsher laws, aren't you? Because you're going to be scared. History doesn't repeat itself, but it has an echo. When you get afraid, you ask for harsher laws. And when you ask for harsher laws and the police show up in these black communities, you think they're just going to focus on these Venezuelan immigrants? Nah, they're going to put your black behind in jail. They're going to target your sons and your daughters. And so you're going to see an increased collaboration and increased funding to law enforcement agencies across the US and Latin America. They're going to intensify their collaboration to track and dismantle these gangs and operations. And that sounds good on paper. It sounds great on paper, but what's going to be the effect on the ground? On the ground, the police are going to have carte blanche to crush any criminal activity. We damn near looking at it, in some places, it may be considered a fascist state. If you look at how Los Angeles was treated, if you look at how LA was treated, they literally had something called a batarang, which was literally a tank with a big metal plate on the front, and they would run that through the front door of your house. They had helicopters flying over, flashing lights. I'm telling you, I grew up in this. And this is what you are, something straight out of Terminator. This is what happened. This is what people allow when they become afraid. And so this is what you're looking at. So again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But in my mind, if I was law enforcement, if I was someone who invested in the prison industrial complex, and I'm a lawyer, right? So at some point I'm a benefit too, right? But I'm willing to tell you. Law enforcement is going to demand more money. They're going to say we need more money and we need more officers so that we can continue to disrupt these criminal activities and these financial networks and assets. You're going to see law enforcement targeting certain communities and operations, and you guys are going to say, go right on ahead. They're going to say we need to disband the gang cells, and you all are going to say, please do so. We're afraid. There's going to be an increase in police patrols. Local law enforcement is going, look, let me tell you something, man. Look, scruples be damned. If you got a few dollars, go ahead and invest in some of these prison building companies, these prison managing companies on the Wall Street Stock Exchange. Go ahead and invest right now. I'm not lying. I'm telling you, go get your money. You might as well benefit from it. Might as well get some money. Somebody type get money in the chat room. Might as well go ahead, because you're going to see an increase in prison. These places are going to be profitable. I'm trying to tell you, man. Might as well. It's going to happen anyway. I see the writing on the wall. It's big business. Prison is big business. And if they can put these Venezuelan migrants in there and have them in there housing bodies, making $35,000, $40,000 a piece off each one of them, somebody might as well get rich. See, over the past 10, 15 years, law enforcement has been catching hell. And whether you like it or not, law enforcement is big business. There are whole groups of immigrants and people who have come to this country and they have become law enforcement, and they work themselves from lowly immigrants to the middle class and upper middle class. The Irish did that. The Irish did. You know, the Irish guy in New York, the stereotypical police officer swinging his little billy club, taking apples off of people's carts with the Irish accent, O'Malley, O'Reilly, McGillicuddy. Right? Sergeant McIntosh, right? All these Irish names. The Irish were the worst of the worst as far as white America was concerned back in the 1860s and 1850s. And they made a deal with them. Okay, you guys can integrate into the system. We'll give you these jobs that'll get you into the middle class. And that's what they did. Okay? That was big business. And now, since crime is down, law enforcement, or the big business of law enforcement, is suffering. Dudes aren't going to prison like they used to. So it makes sense to me, if I was involved in the prison industrial complex and I was a lobbyist in Washington, I would say open those borders up. You can keep the workers and we'll take the prisoners and we'll put those guys in jail and we'll make me. How much would it cost for you to do that? A couple of $1 million? Campaign contributions? Look, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This seems to me like a backroom deal that is so obvious that anybody can see it. Now, Tren de Aragua represents a significant and evolving threat, potentially mirroring the challenges posed by MS-13. But with unique criminal enterprises, you're going to need some new strategies. And law enforcement is going to do that, and they're going to require money for that. What you all should expect is a strong, coordinated response from the authorities as they work to prevent the gang from expanding and its influence all throughout the United States. And you all are going to be with it. Look at the politicians right now sounding the alarms, telling you that they're going to operate within this border. The boogeyman is here. Somebody type boogeyman in the chat room. Hey, I'm saying, They got these people from Chicago all the way to Georgia, all the way out to Colorado. There's a situation in Georgia where a Venezuelan man held on immigration violation. He's been accused of being part of the gang, and his brother who wanted to unalive a young nursing student. This is who we're dealing with. That would scare you to death, wouldn't it? They're organizing. And they're not being loud about it, but they are doing it. Look, this has serious implications, especially for folks in the Black community. And you need to keep your eyes open. You need to see what's going on. And I hope you heed my warning. I hope you guys listen to me. I appreciate you staying here with me. I think this was important. And it falls into a lot of the conversations we have. See, here's the thing. These gangs come from some of the same places that the passport bros go visit. Venezuela, Chile, Peru, Colombia, Mexico. And this is the culture. At least this is the criminal culture. It's not a gentleman's culture. It's not sophisticated. It's ruthless. And I'm going to say it like I said it before. I don't think that you are ready for the South American criminal. I just don't think you all are ready. If you look at some of the video footage from Mexico and the cartel, we're not ready to see that on Whittier Boulevard in Southern California. We're not ready to see that on Westheimer Boulevard in Houston, Texas. You're not ready to see that on Peachtree in Atlanta, Georgia. But it's coming. And people are going to make billions of dollars off of it. That's what this is about. Whether you like Trump or not, he's a disruptor. He puts his principal before his bank account because the man is already a billionaire. And I think that's why, for lack of a better word, we can trust him to do the thing he said he's going to do, and that's shut down the border. I can't trust Kamala to do that. I think there's significant money interest in allowing these immigrants to come to the United States, even the criminals. Because if they didn't want them to come, they wouldn't be here. They would shut down the border. It wouldn't be hard. This is about money, and they don't care about you as American citizens. They put money first. I'm just saying, fam. This is probably one of the most important broadcasts that I've given in a while because it points out an aspect of the so-called immigrant crisis that many of you probably haven't thought about. The prison industrial complex is going to benefit from these criminals. All they got to do is charge them and round them up, 40,000 a head. Think about that. And they get free labor out of them. Think about that. Law enforcement benefits from the idea of having these ultra violent criminals coming into the United States because it scares the public and it allows for them to raise the taxes, pay more cops, hire more cops, get more money, more benefits. The police benevolent union, the union, police unions benefit more. The teacher unions benefit more because now we got more students that don't speak English that we can put in our schools and charge the public more money for. You have schools around the nation that are empty because they don't have enough students. Big business benefits because they get a chance to drive down the price of labor. So that means that American citizens who've worked their way up to be craftsmen, plumbers, whatever. Now you got somebody from another country who'll do that labor for cheap. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it for what it is. This whole Venezuelan prison gang, and shout out to my man Simeon Togo. You are the first person to contribute a super chat tonight. Thank you so much for being thoughtful. Big shout out to you. Thank you. I ain't got one super chat, one cash app, or nothing, man. Shout out to you for not being stingy with Uncle D. Didn't y'all hear me play Hate Watchers earlier? I know I did. You guys got to show some love to Uncle D. But nevertheless, back to what I was saying. This is big business. America is a corporation. America is a business. And the minute it can learn a way to make money, it will do that. And that's what you see happening. That's what I see happening. And it doesn't take much to figure out. Just follow the money. Follow the money trail. Who else benefits from having these immigrants coming up here? We get all right, so I'm going to go ahead and go here. America is a capitalist system. And capitalism doesn't work unless you have an underclass that you can exploit. The reason slavery wasn't working is because the underclass was a slave class, which means you got infinite slave labor in perpetuity. So the working man didn't get a chance to compete for those jobs. So you had an underclass of people who were technically slaves, and technically they weren't underclass because they were eating, all their needs were taken care of. And, the people who would otherwise work couldn't work. So slavery had to end because it was bad for capitalism. It was just the jump start to get America going. And so now, every 20, 30 years, shout out to my man, One Mike. Thank you for educating us, Uncle D. You're very welcome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you appreciating this level of conversation. A lot of people don't realize that these are the sort of things that truly help you understand policy and how the world works. And if you all would jump ahead of this, come on now. If you would jump ahead of this, you could get rich too. Separate your feelings from your money-making avenues. Let me say it like this. If I owned a tomato field or a fruit farm, I would hire as many of those illegal immigrants as I could for as cheap as I could, and I would make as much money as I could. And I wouldn't feel bad about it. As long as it was legal and I'm not violating any law, I don't give a darn. Because I'm going to live in my mansion with my gated community and my security around me, and I don't give a darn about the little man. That's capitalism. Now imagine we have this is why you all don't like the rich. But imagine if you have millions and millions of people who are like that, who feel that way, which we do in the United States. They're trying to figure out ways how they can exploit this incoming cheap source of labor. Shout out to Benny McCrumbie. Thank you so much, fam, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This is about big business. It's nothing more than big business. They don't care about you, the average American citizen, and your middle-class lifestyle. They don't care about you. This is a machine. This is a corporation. In fact, the term constitution simply means corporation. There's a compact, there's a constitution between the various states of the United States, which says we will come together and we will make money. That's what we are about. Shout out to my man, 10 I See You Williams. Thank you for the good info on FBA all day. Shout out to you, bro. And also big shout out to Actual Proof. Peace, thanks for the information. A lot of conflict, Ted, about investing in prisons, a little like investing in slavery. Look, man, I know it's conflict about investing in slavery, but Africans had slaves in Africa. African Americans had slaves in America. It's just they talk about slavery in the Bible. I don't want you to become a slave. And although we do not like the prison industrial complex, somebody's about to make billions of dollars off of these new criminals that we have coming over here. All you have to do is stay out the way and let law enforcement round them up and lock them up and invest in them. Start investing in some of these private schools, because as soon as these illegal immigrants start hitting these public schools, you're going to have a lot of well-to-do black folks, white folks, and whoever folks taking their children out of public schools and putting them in private schools. You better get your teaching certificate up. That's what's going to happen. Fear is a tool. Fear is a tool. And as long as they can drive the American public to fear, as long as they can control your emotions, they will. And the vast majority of you all will be controlled by your fears, especially the women. The gun manufacturing industry is going to benefit, because the minute you start hearing about something happening in Massachusetts and Colorado and Florida, you're going, well, I need to go get some more ammo. I need to get some more weapons. Everybody stands to benefit. More traffic in the streets. I'm a benefit. More traffic, all you bad drivers, all them bad drivers from South America and Africa coming over here. Oh, yeah. Lots of money. The price of real estate is going to go down. Law enforcement is going to go. There's going to be money everywhere. And you all are going to foot the bill. These old Americans, you old Americans. When I say old, I don't mean youthful. I mean, y'all been here before the great invasion. Somebody type the great invasion in the chat room. We haven't even talked about when they start voting. We're talking about the exploitation of an underclass, which is what drives capitalism. That's how it works. It's about exploitation. Black people have placed themselves in a position to be the exploiters as opposed to the exploited. You've worked yourself to the middle class. And for you all goody two-shoes out there who think you too good and you don't like what I'm saying, you know darn well you paying that Mexican or that Latino person $20 to cut your goddamn grass in 103-degree weather in Arizona. That's exploitation. So you're already doing it. So what's the difference between you investing in a prison, in the prison industrial complex, by doing something like investing on the stock market? I'm just saying that $5 street burrito that you buy from that woman who's pushing that cart down the street, you don't think that's exploitation? It is. If I did begin to talk about some of these things in the way I see things, for instance, the fact that, and I say it again, America is a corporation. It's not a country that you should get cozied up to and think you can retire here and live in existence in peace. No, get your money and go. The new American dream is to stack as much money as you can, have yourself a continuing stream of income, and then move somewhere else where you can relax, preferably by a beach with some cheap labor and beautiful women for the brothers. And you ladies, if you got a man that's upwardly mobile, you better hold on to him. But that's the new American dream, to get rich and leave. Get rich and leave. That's the new American dream. Exploit, exploit, exploit. Make the American machine work for you just like it's worked for so many other people who've come to this country and won and leave. I know it's distasteful for me to say that. One of the first videos that I did early this summer, and some of you all may remember, I actually recorded it in my backyard. And I said, well, damn, they coming. How can they help me? I told you brothers all the time. I said, look, you got these Africans coming over here. How can we work with them to help us make money? See, you're so focused on building walls and boundaries, you're not thinking in a creative way, how can this benefit me? How can I make money doing this? This is the reality of the world. Shout out to my man Simeon Toko. Thank you for being a new member. How can I exploit this situation? If I'm a criminal defense attorney, oh Lord, are you kidding me? Buenos días, tú necesito abogado. Yo estoy aquí para ti. Venezuela. I'm telling you, I would be specializing in gang activity and criminal defense cases, assault, battery, extortion, and I would be charging. You see what I mean? I would be charging. The judges are going to make money. The criminals are going to make money. The lawyers are going to make money. The cops are going to make money. The school teachers are going to make money. The real estate agents are going to make money. The grocery stores are going to make money. The reason they're giving these immigrants $13,000, $14,000 in food stamps, because the food industry has one of the largest lobbies in America. Del Monte, and they say, yeah, get those immigrants $13,000, stimulate the economy. We need that. Are you kidding me? Milk, cheese, vegetables, bottled water, potato chips, diapers. Everybody's benefiting from this, except you. You don't know how to use a good crisis to your benefit. I'm just saying, yeah, the American public is going to have to foot the bill, and you may not like it, but what are you going to do about it? Can't beat them, join them. This is the American way. Somebody type American way in the chat room. Exploitation all day. You don't like it? You guys don't like what I'm saying? I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, and I'm going to tell you how it is. There are people who are going to make billions of dollars, and you just going to sit up there and be mad. And here you are voting for whoever you voting for, thinking that's going to make a change. That's not going to stop this money. It's not going to stop this money train. Somebody type money train in the chat room. It is funny, man. I'm laughing out loud. I shouldn't even tell y'all this because you're like, we hate you, Uncle D. Because y'all sitting here complaining about these immigrants. And I got some immigrants in my backyard right now putting the pool in. Look at that. Olympic-sized pool in my backyard. I got immigrants doing it right there from Venezuela. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's some dudes from Venezuela right now in my backyard digging up a pool. You see what I'm saying? It's the American way, baby. I mean, they did it. They was like, we'll do it for, sir. Everybody else want damn near six figures, and we'll do it for half off, senora. You got it. The American way, baby. I'm going to be swimming, spitting water up, having a good time. Got water fountains and a little place where the wife can sunbathe, be in the water and out the water. I'm just saying. This is the American way. Figure out how you can exploit these immigrants just like the rest of the capitalists. That's what I want y'all to figure out. Figure out if you can get that Venezuelan immigrant to cut your grass for 20% less than the Mexican immigrant. That's what I want you to figure out. How can you use some of this free labor, this cheap labor for yourself? Huh? How can you do that? I'm just saying, fam. Obviously, it's going to happen. It's something that happens. They've been letting immigrants in for centuries now. And we do the same thing. When we let some poor immigrants in, they drive down the prices of wages. The old immigrants, the ones who couldn't work their way up into the middle class, upper middle class, or rich, they get mad. They become expendable. And then they protest, riot, whatever. They get washed out of the system. And then when the immigrants, when the new immigrants, when they get too uppity, we let some new immigrants in. Whether they from Ireland, England, they cleared out the jails in Ireland and Italy and sent them over to New York. Germany did the same thing. They came over here to this American melting pot. Then the Mexicans came, the Africans came, the African slaves came, got rid of slavery. That was messing up our money-making machine over here, kept the country divided. It's bad for the money. Okay, bring the Mexicans. Bring the El Salvadorians. Bring the Venezuelans. Bring the Chinese. Bring the Indians. This is what we do. We exploit the immigrants. I'm going to say this, and you're going to be mad at me. Your job as an American is to exploit the next immigrant group of people that come up here. Okay? That's your job. That the ones that exploited you, they taught you how to do it the best. That's your job as an American. It's the American way. Go learn this. Go be an English Spanish interpreter. Okay? You'll make some money doing that. Go specialize in Venezuelan products and African products and get your little specialty store. Go specialize in that. Go specialize in bootleg cell phones. You'll be rich. Go get you some prepaid telephone cards. You get rich. I'm just saying, go get you about 10 or 15 of those used ice cream cart trucks and hire you some little Venezuelan African immigrants to sell ice cream on Fifth Avenue for $40 or $50 a day, and you make $120 a day. I'm just saying, buy you a fleet of Ford Focuses from 1998 and put them on the road and tell each of these immigrants to go that you hire to go get the driver's license, and you keep half the money plus cost and give them the rest. I'm just saying. You're doing it anyway. Somebody said invest in sandals. Yeah, invest in sandals and flip-flops. You'll be rich. These people aren't going anywhere. Look, I told y'all earlier, Barack Obama deported more immigrants, illegal immigrants, than any other group in the years he was here. In the 4 years he was here, he deported 1 million. 1 million. Somebody type 1 million in the chat room. There's 15 million here right now. Even if Donald Trump was nominated and elected president, if Barack Obama in his best effort was only able to deport 1 million, what do you think is going to happen? How many do you think Donald Trump is going to exploit or send home? Probably 1 million, maybe 1.5 million. That's still 13.5 million here. They're going to be here. They're here now. You just better figure out something to do with them. How does this benefit number one? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. How does this benefit me? Yeah, I get it. They got gangs and they scare you. I get it. That's right. That's right. So go invest in some of these prison companies that own the stock exchange. Because if you scared, it's another 40 or 50 million people scared, and they're going to want more prisons. Just saying. Go invest in some of these gun manufacturers, because if you scared, then everybody else is scared, and people are going to go out and buy more guns and ammunition. It is what it is. Who's mad at me right now? Come on, somebody talk about, I want to hear who's mad. Who's mad at Uncle D right now for spitting this hot flame, this cold truth? Huh? And irrespective of how you feel, all the media is on the same side. Their whole point is to drive up that fear, because many of the people who own the media corporations also have stakes in many of these countries, whether it's food, diapers, formula, baby milk, pencils, pens. The rich own what? The vast majority of the wealth in this country is consolidated into the hands of a few people, which means they own pretty much everything. So they get you going and coming. This is where we at. They just got a new boogeyman up here to scare you. COVID-19 scared you. Venezuelans scared you. MS-13 scared you before that. Crips and Blood scared you before that. HIV scared you before that. Bird flu, swine flu, all that. We just gonna keep you scared and keep making money. And if there's nothing out there to be scared of, we're gonna make up something. Aliens are coming. Now you got people building bunkers in the backyard. Whatever it is, we're going to keep you scared, because the scared helps make money. Keep keeping them rich. You're keeping these other people rich. And I'm telling you, as an American, why not just go ahead? And let me say this. We always vilify the rich, don't we? Don't we hate the rich? I'm talking to my brothers and sisters. We hate the rich, always hate the rich. But then we want to be rich. You want to drive that Maybach. You want to have that 6,000 square foot house on a hill somewhere. It's like a schizophrenia that black folk have, and all Americans have, actually. My man Actual Proof said, thanks for the game, incarceration driven by crime instead of just anti-black. Oh, yeah. They don't care about your black behind. They want money. You see? Anti-blackness and racism is just a sport. The real game is capitalism. That's what the money is. That's why when black people start doing well financially, that's the problem. They don't mind you being broke. They have a problem with you being affluent because they measure their success. The dominant society measures their success and their well-being by how well you doing. As long as you broke, poor, and busted, they feel all right about themselves. But the minute you start riding clean and looking good and feeling good and you upwardly mobile, oh man, that's a problem. That'll make them come want to burn down your communities. Tulsa, Oklahoma. But anyway, shout out to you for that, bro. Thank you so much. Martell Prayer, Uncle D, I'm well traveled. Most black Americans have no idea how racist and hateful most Latinos from South and Central America are towards black people and those with dark skin. Yeah, hell yeah. I know it. But they're gonna treat you different as a black American if you're an American when you come down there. But the minute they get even footing with you, the racism comes out. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, baby. I'm just saying. You out here concerned about exploiting these poor immigrants, and they don't even like your black behind like that. I'm just saying. Just think about that. Separate your emotions, make your money. See, we learned all these great lessons from white folks, except the ones that keep them in power. Focus on the money. Focus on the money. That's what America is for. You can go to another country and live a holistic life and focus on your higher chakras and, you see what I mean, and get to your higher self and become one with the universe. Do that somewhere else. In the United States, you're supposed to be making money. This is a machine. This is a money-making machine from its inception. It was a money-making machine. I'm just saying. You worried about these, we don't want to exploit these people in jail. We don't want these people in prison. We don't want to build in prison industrial complex. Go ahead and just get rich. And if you can get your money up, a lot of the issues that you have as African Americans will subside. I would suggest that the reason that there's a lower incarceration rate amongst black individuals is because black people are a lot wealthier in 2024 than we were in 1960. I would suggest that since 60% of black men have reached the middle class, upper middle class, or rich, we have a lot less of those poverty issues that we had, which caused us to be targeted. Yeah, of course, there's going to be random violence. But I don't really see too many CEOs and lawyers and doctors being killed unalived on camera by somebody's knee. If George Floyd was the CEO of Ford Motor Company, he wouldn't have had that problem, would he? No, he wouldn't have. Would he? Just speak the truth. Huh? If Tamir Rice was the son of a prominent executive at American Airlines, he wouldn't even be in that situation, would he? Let your money be what you use to escape this foolishness. Look, it's harsh, but you see me doing it all the time. Uncle D is on a flight somewhere. Uncle D is riding around in some foreign with a beautiful woman in a nice house that's too far for the public transit system to get to. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I drive by the ghetto. Oh, look at that. That's terrible. You see what I mean? And that's many of you all's experience. Shout out to all the black folks in Buckhead. Shout out to all the black folks in what's that county in Virginia, Maryland, DC area, where all them rich black folks live. I forget what it's called. Shout out to all y'all. It's about money and power. And I know you don't like what I'm saying. I know there's going to be some hoteps that's going to look at this video and say, he's a capitalist. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's boule. I'm not boule. I'm beyond that. You see what I'm saying? I'm about black men doing well for themselves, making money. I want to see you ball. Let me get up close and tell you, brothers, I want to see you ball. I want to see you make all the money you can make here in the United States. Our ancestors, black men fought for the right for us to get all the money we can. And I want you to see what it feels like to be on the other side of rich. Because see, right now, some of y'all are making money, some of y'all are struggling, but you ain't got to the point where you willing and dealing and you're rich. I want to see us all like the Jewish community. That's how I want to see us balling. I want to see us like the Indian community. We go to this foreign country, we educate our children, get them the best education, and now we're the highest earning group of people in America, even more so than white folks. Asians have the highest income. I think it's 160,000 or 200,000. White folks are like third in line. Imagine that. And this is just an opportunity. Look, man. Some of y'all missed the .com bust, right? Some of y'all missed the YouTube hustle, but now you can exploit some of these immigrants. That's the American way. We've been exploiting immigrants since this country came through. It's a machine. Now, who mad? Somebody type who mad in the chat room. Who's mad at what I'm saying? Exploitation. It's the American way. Go ahead and get your what's it called? Your Section 8 vouchers popping again. And go get you that good loan or get your credit up. You and your homeboys and your homegirls get together, take a loan out in some impoverished area, rehab a building, and open it up to Section 8. You'll fill it up with immigrants. Get those Section 8 vouchers. You mad because the government is giving these folks Section 8 vouchers and $3,000 worth of food stamps. Why don't you open the store up and get some of that $13,000 in food stamps? Get you a Section 8 and say, yeah, we cater to these. Bring all them Venezuelan immigrants. I don't care if you tear this thing up, but by the time they tear it up, I'm going to have all my money plus some. You understand what I'm saying, fam? I want you to hear me. I'm speaking to you from the coldest part of my coldest heart. And I'm telling you, just go ahead and get the money. Go ahead and get the money. Set your little feelings aside about how you feel. Go ahead and get the money because everybody else is. Everybody else is. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Y'all show Uncle D some love. Praise. If you listen to women, especially black women, they'll tell you exactly what their intentions are. They're not mad at Joe Blow off the street who got a white woman who's broke, but they mad at hell at Kobe Bryant, and he's been dead for years now. They're mad at Tay Diggs, mad at Jamie Foxx. They're mad at Terrell Owens and all the rest of the rich men. But why?
I dated some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong. Right. I was teased from high school, even college.
Why?
I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn, so they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. Blizzard King. Yeah. We on something else. It's cold outside, baby. You gotta bundle up out here. Yeah.
Policing black men as a way of having men with resources remain available, thereby doing the bidding for these lovely ladies.
Got a lot of niggas that's out here trying to peep shit. Dick watching, always concerned about who you sleep with. Locker room gazing, single mamas made him. Mad cause he thirsty, hood bitches that played him. Cotton picker, all about self, he's a rotten nigga. He hit below the belt, he's a box licker. Take a picture, post it up, he's a mock nigga. Deputized, law enforcement, he's a cop nigga. Whoop, 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 pull over. Behind you so close like he wanna get up on you. We don't play with niggas. Blizzard King. Gotta watch your back, even family that's amongst you. Got a slut ass auntie and a cool ass uncle. Kinda won't front you, but let you ride the whip around the block like you stunts. Don't do a lot of bumping. When your mama call when her ex-man jumping, all you see is feet and her ex-man stomping. That's my Uncle D, that's why the Blizzard King coming. Hot girl winter, Blizzard King summer. My we's a coming. No singing and no humming, talking we shall overcome it. Got him leaking, I'm the plumber. My nigga made Zoom look cool, yeah, you funny. What else Uncle D gotta prove more money? Overlook the tunes, if gotta shun him. Brotherhood over any woman. Cause if she play her role, then she fam, then she good. When we say brother, my sister, we mean the hood. Now homie, pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge, your dish it just how you want. He just run his mouth and that bullshit we debunk. In a sunken place, he's sinking that tongue. He don't even drinking, I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drinking, I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. Brand good, suit and tie, lawyer reppin' manhood. He don't tap dance, he overstand, he playing good. Titles don't get it, most of us getting ambushed. Mayonnaise, clam bush, buck broken, man tush. Woke up in the morning, got walk, that's on my mind. Peace can only come when you're low and order divine. I stay entwined, you keep a criminal mind. How you think I shine and stay from falling behind? He got open eyes and can't see it, he blind. You nice all the time, they tell you water is wine. Slaughter all your sons and leave your daughters behind. All she wanna do is flash that big behind. And music is the garbage they use to take you down. You used to rap intelligent, now you rapping like clowns. My prerogative, you thinking like Bobby Brown. Rest in peace to Whitney, Christina, that's underground. Wake up years later, you been around. Water up to your neck and watching you as you drown. How you scoring touchdown again and you out of bounds? All the black men getting passports out of town. Homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge, your dishes just how you want. He just run his mouth and that shit we debunk. In the sunken place, he singing that good song. He don't even drink and I tell you that the drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that good drunk. Nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. My Uncle D, 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 favorite uncle, Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, favorite uncle, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my favorite uncle, Blizzard King, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, my favorite uncle, what? Uncle D, my favorite uncle, my Uncle D. My Uncle D, yeah, Uncle D.
Yeah. So we got a few super chats and a few cash apps. Shout out to Black Samurai. Thank you so much, fam. Who else we got? But y'all thought that was funny. I got them Venezuelan immigrants in the backyard right now hustling. Yeah, but it's 100. Yeah, man. Don't miss your money. It is what it is. You don't have to have a heart. This is America. We're Americans. Might as well do what Americans do. I'm gonna need to get about another 8 super chats, but I want to give a shout out to Mr. Gibbs, Black Samurai, Mr. Kinslow, Don, Mark the Freelancer, Derek. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate y'all. And so what we're gonna do is something very special. Since I brought the subject matter up, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. I'm gonna give you some game right now. So what industries? What industries will benefit from this fear that Americans are dealing with right now, the xenophobic fear. I don't care about the emotions. Focus on the money. That's what we're about to talk about, okay? But I'm gonna need to give y'all some super chats. Y'all gonna give me some super chats because this is work. You understand me? I'm gonna tell y'all 10 industries that you begin to invest in right now, or you can open a business in or partner up with, okay? That'll help you get rich. Somebody type get rich in the chat room. Somebody type get rich in the chat room. Come on. Let's do it. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just be authentic. This is not an emotional night. We're talking about getting money, okay? Let's just talk about getting the money. Somebody type get rich in the chat room. Now, I'm gonna need some super chats to get me started. Hell with that. You want quality, you're gonna have to pay for it. I'm gonna get a little harder with y'all, man. You want quality, you're gonna have to pay for it. I don't need a lot of people. I just need the right people. Shout out to my man Ben Crumby. So for Ben McCrumby, Private Security Services, Ben Crumby. This is for you. This is sponsored by Ben Crumby. As the fear, and so Benny, I want you to hear me. As the fear of illegal immigrants grows and more people or more individuals and businesses, they're going to seek to enhance their personal and property security. And this is going to lead to increased demand in private security firms offering services like personal bodyguards and residential and commercial security and patrols, custom security solutions. And wealthier people and high profile businesses, they're going to invest heavily in these services to help ensure their children. Because remember, you are not ready for these South American criminals. They kidnapping, they robbing, they doing all kind of stuff. People are going to want drivers. Safety is going to be a real concern. These people are not going anywhere. And let me tell you what you can do for you folks who may not be able to afford to hire a security company. You have companies like ADT Incorporated. That's on the New York Stock Exchange. Shout out to my man Simon Toko and Canary Valence. And ADT provides residential and commercial security services. ADT, you guys heard of ADT, right? A lot of people have it right out front. They provide commercial security services, and that includes alarms, monitoring, surveillance, and security systems. You can invest in that right now. Allied Universal. And although they're primarily private, some security-related services and businesses are part of a larger publicly traded conglomerate. So that's one. You understand? Shout out to my man, Benny McCrumby, for sponsoring that first step. Now I got another one. Who wants to come together and be the sponsor for the next company that you can invest in or business you can invest in and help you fulfill your part, get your part of the American dream? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Y'all have heard that before, but you've been on the other side of it. See, if you are able to look at my broadcast, that means you got some money. You got at least $1,000 because you're looking at your cell phone. You might be riding around the street in your truck right now. Some of you dudes might have, you might be, I don't know, plumbers, electricians. You can hire some of these folks to do some work for you, even if it's just cleanup and hauling. You see, it's other stuff you can do, but think creatively. You understand? Now, who wants to be the sponsor of the next bit of knowledge, right? Who wants to sponsor the next? We got 10 all together. We did 9. Who wants to sponsor the next one? Who wants to sponsor the next company? All right, I want to tell you some more. We talked about go ahead and invest in private security services, and I'll give you the name. So what we got next? Come on now. Come on now. Who wants to be the next one? I'm going to go ahead and start. I have faith in y'all. Surveillance technology. This fear, the xenophobic fear that these nearly 400 million Americans are fearing about these 15 million somebody illegal immigrants, which include this Venezuelan prison gang, it's going to drive people to invest in technology that makes them feel safer. And that includes home security cameras, motion sensors, and advanced surveillance systems for both homes and businesses. I got cameras at my office. I got cameras all at my house. And see, the market for smart home security solutions, which also includes remote monitoring via smartphones and other devices, you could download it to your app. Right, ladies? Ladies, talk to me. Don't you want to see who's at your front door before you pull up? Wouldn't you like to be able to flip a switch and your lights come on before you get there? You're going to see a surge in people who want to protect their property and any perceived threats. You living way up in Montana. Ain't nobody from Venezuela in Montana at all, right? But you out there getting you a Ring app. You understand? And other companies that produce and sell these technologies, they're going to benefit from the increased demand. Alphabet Incorporated, they're on NASDAQ. Okay, they're a subsidiary of Nest, and Alphabet offers smart home security products. Amazon.com and that Amazon Ring. Right? Ring, y'all know what Ring is, right? You can pay $100 and you can see who's at your front door. I'm just giving you the game. Ring is a major player. You understand? Arlo Technologies, NYCE. This company specializes in home security and cameras and smart security systems. I'm just telling you. Hey, look, that's private sector. It's right there. Who wants to sponsor the next one? So we already talked about one. Private security industries, surveillance technology industries. What's next? I got 7 more. You can stop what you're doing tomorrow, jump on the internet, and invest in that, hold it for 10 years, and you're going to get some money. Because it's the more afraid these people become, the more it's going to drive up the profit in these industries. Who else is thinking like this on the internet? Who else is giving you this level of game? I'm giving it to you. You ain't going to get this for $50 anywhere else. My investment man, he want $2,500 just to spit on my file. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to show me some love. Who wants to sponsor the next one? Come on, who wants to sponsor? Who wants to know about these government contracts that's about to be given out? Shout out to all the people who want some government contracts. Somebody type good government job. Somebody type government in the chat room if you know how to spell it. I got you. I'm going to give you some game. Come on now. Come on now. Already hinted at it earlier. Who's going to sponsor it? Well, let me go ahead and give it to you. Border security and defense contractors. Listen. Don't nobody want to work for the government. Don't nobody want a badge and a gun. Y'all don't want that. But if the government start offering contracts for border security because of the increase in public fear about illegal immigrants, y'all will take that contract, wouldn't you? Some of you ex-military, ex-cops, the government's going to pay you $120,000 a year, which is twice as much you would get as a cop, 3 times, 4 times more than you got as a soldier or a Marine. See, they're going to start giving out contracts for building physical barriers, such as walls and fences, and deploying high-tech solutions like drones and surveillance towers and advanced detection systems. This is what they're going to do. Defense contractors and companies, they got to make their money. It's only so many bombs and tanks you can build for a conventional war. No, we need you building drones and surveillance towers. We need to be able to hire individuals off the street and say, hey, you got military, well, we're going to send you down to the border. We're going to pay you $120. You go down there for 2 weeks, come back. On 2 weeks, off 2 weeks. All you got to do is submit a proposal, fellas. Listen to me. Some of you guys have dealt with defense contracts and you've dealt with the government. You know how to send a proposal in. You're going to have contractors and companies specializing in border security infrastructure. And you're going to see that be a whole new business. The federal government is going to be offering contracts. The state governments are going to be offering these cops can't do this by themselves. They got to spread that money around. You make more money as a contractor patrolling the border than you would as a cop. So places you can invest in, like Lockheed Martin Corporation. That's a major defense contractor that's going to benefit from increased government spending on border security, technology, and infrastructure. They don't just invest in weapons of war for overseas. Go ahead. Northrop Grumman Corporation. That's another defense giant. Go ahead and invest in them. Raytheon Technologies. All of this stuff is traded on the New York Stock Exchange right now. You hear me? This is good game. Somebody type good game in the chat room. Another one, and we talked about this, detention and correctional facilities. Private companies that run detention centers and other correctional prisons, they're going to benefit from these policies. The increased detention of these illegal immigrants, and not just from Venezuela, everywhere. As more immigrants come, these facilities are going to have higher occupancy rates, and that's going to lead to greater profits. Somebody type profits in the chat room. If you're a prison guard, you make a lot more money working for a private corporation. Matter of fact, you can get a contract with a private corporation, and you can you can be the source of their prison guards, because we know them prison guards don't last long. They get tired. They feel like they in the prison with them. My man said bonding companies. That's true too. Shout out to Professor Mex. That also flows into the prison industrial complex. It's all related. They're going to need somebody to house these prisons. What are the two companies that deal in this business? Geo Group Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. And this is a company that I'm going to look it up real quick. Here you go. I'll put it up there. Since I spoke about it, I'm going to give it to you. Bam, there you go. That's one. The other one is Core Civic Incorporated. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. Both of these companies manage private prisons and detention centers. And there's going to be an increased demand for it. You got more bodies, you got to put them in. I'm just saying, you don't have to get mad at me. Be mad. I don't care if you're mad at all. Just be rich. Be rich. Go ahead. Do what everybody else is doing. Go ahead and get rich and be mad at me. And you can be, I can't stand Uncle D. He helped make me rich. Now you sound stupid. You see? Another thing, you don't necessarily have to be in law enforcement to benefit from law enforcement. What do I mean by that? Well, somebody need to sponsor this next one. We 5 and we keeping it live. Let's go to the 5th one. Where my super chats at? Let's talk about how you can benefit from law enforcement without actually being law enforcement. See, what's going to happen is with the increased focus on immigration and enforcement, these law enforcement agencies, these cops, they're going to need additional equipment, tactical gear, firearms, surveillance tools, vehicles designed for border patrol, urban policing. There's going to be an uptick in orders in federal and state local enforcement. They're going to need to ramp up their operations and their perceived threat. Somebody type perceived threat in the chat room. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but if you're listening, I'm going to give you something. Go invest in Axion Enterprises Incorporated. Okay, they're known for making tasers and other body cameras, which are widely used by law enforcement. Hell, y'all gonna use them too. Axion Enterprises Incorporated. Go invest in them now and get rich. Hold on to it and get rich. As everybody else getting afraid, yeah, y'all go ahead and be afraid. Go ahead and be scared. Go get you a taser. Tell all your friends. You see? Might as well capitalize on it. Shout out to Actual Proof. Go ahead and tell. I'm going to tell you, baby. Tell it. Smith & Wesson brands. They make they're firearm manufacturers. They supply law enforcement agents and regular people. Okay? That's on the New York Stock Exchange. Go invest in that. You might as well. You can be rich. Your great grandkids will be richer. Hold on to it. It's the American way. Okay? There's it. I just put it up there for you. These are right there on the stock exchange. Strom, Ruger and Company. You guys know this Ruger. That's another player. Okay? Now, what's the other thing that happens when you're afraid? You want to be informed, right? You want to be informed, don't you? So what are you going to do? Shout out to Solo Dolo. What are you going to do? You're going to watch the media and news outlets. And you're going to hear about the horrific things that are going on out there. What these Venezuelan migrants are doing. They took over somebody's, maybe they took over somebody's apartment complex. You want to hear about that. So media organizations are going to experience higher viewership and engagement when you're covering these polarized issues like illegal immigration, these fear-driven narratives. They're going to lead to increased ratings, more online clicks, higher subscriptions. Okay? Because the public is seeking information. Whether it's just to confirm their fears, whether it's to find out counter narratives, news outlets that focus heavily on immigration issues, particularly with strong ideological stances, are going to see a raise in advertising. They're going to watch that. You understand? I'm just saying. This is what's going to happen. You might not like Fox News, but go ahead and invest in News Corp. It's on NASDAQ. The New York Times Company, invest in it's a New York Stock Exchange. Look, you don't have to like these people. All I'm asking you to do is don't get left out on the exploitation. If you see a fool, bump his head. Have y'all ever heard that old saying? Huh? News Corp, for you guys who don't know, it's owned by Fox News, and it covers these immigration issues all the time. And right now, their ratings are going through the roof. Fake news. Fake news. You understand? Fake news. Fake news will make you rich. Comcast Corporation, through its own ownership of NBC Universal, Comcast, it's going to benefit from increase. These are all things that help you make money, man. You understand? See, here's the other thing. Survivalist and preparedness products. You have that niche too. Okay? You got people who are afraid of societal disruption. They're going to go out and get survival gear, emergency food supplies, and other products like that. These people who make market for civil unrest. And it doesn't matter if it's real or fake. They're going to get it. Non-perishable food, water filtration systems, stuff that they made, the first aid kits, Vista Outdoor Incorporated, Olin Corporations, again, Smith & Wesson. All of these people make outdoor products, including firearms and ammunitions. You can exploit this situation. My man said generators, yeah, hand tools, all these different things. And here's a big one. Y'all still with me? I need 3 more super chats now. Come on, let's bring it on home. Construction and infrastructure companies. See, the fear of illegal immigration, as that grows, there's going to be an increase in political and public support for building more extensive border infrastructure. And that includes physical barriers like walls and fences. Somebody type build that wall in the chat room. Roads, surveillance towers, checkpoints, all this stuff. And these products are going to generate substantial revenue. And there are companies that you can invest in. If you are not involved in building like that, go ahead and invest in Fluor Corporation. It's FLR. It's a major construction firm that's probably going to secure contracts for buildings. You know? I mean, it is what it is. Right? Another one, Jacobs Engineering Group. They're on the New York Stock Exchange. They're going to engineer construction. All these people. Caterpillar. You guys heard of Caterpillar, right? Heavy machinery. That's going to increase. You see? And so what I'm saying is, fam, there's money to be made. There's money to be made. Don't get left out. While you sitting there being afraid, somebody else is getting paid. Ha, bars. You sitting there being afraid, somebody else is getting paid. It's the American way. It's the American way. And, you know, don't miss out on this wave, fam. It is what it is. You ain't got to like me. My man said, Uncle D, you don't rarely talk like this. I know I'm a very compassionate and loving person, but I'm successful and rich for a reason. I speak compassionate to you all because I can, but when I'm talking to my sons in the private of my own home, I'm explaining to them how to get rich. I'm just telling you the blueprint has already been created. I don't have to recreate it. I'm telling you what I do. You don't have to like it. You don't have to listen to my broadcast. But what I'm telling you is this is what's happening. The question is, how can I benefit? How can I cause or benefit from this crisis? How can I do that? That should be the question you should be asking us. Some of you all, this is your first time seeing this from this perspective. Damn. Because your entire lives, you've been anti-capitalist and anti-money making, even though you benefit from capitalism, and you damn sure wouldn't want to be a socialist. You damn sure wouldn't want to be a communist. You certainly don't want to live in one of those societies where you work and got to share everything. So I'm just saying, if you're here, you might as well benefit. If you're here, you might as well benefit from it. Even the military is big business. You think we fighting for valor and honor over there? We're fighting to maintain our financial interests. Old, fat, rich men send young men off to die so these old, fat, rich men can stay rich. And they got you out there hoorahing and whatnot. And, you know, hey, I love the military, but I recognize the hustle. I support you for what you do, but it's some people getting rich off of your labor and your blood and your sweat. They got you being patriotic and they getting paid. So now, why don't you recognize that that's just how America works? You don't have to place any emotional judgments on it. Just exploit the opportunity like every other group that comes to this United States. Everybody listening to my broadcast, figure out a way in which you can make some money and make it. Just figure out a way you can capitalize so that you can better take care of your family, so that you can have some peace of mind. And it is what it is. This is life. This is where we live. Again, I'm a pragmatist. It's going to happen anyway. Might as well get paid. Nevertheless, this is Uncle D. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. God bless y'all. And as I always say at this time, I'm out.
Dennis Spurling Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.